well, for me, I mean, this really struck out at me because all the sequels that were getting announced and all the new additions of various different franchises, we've actually had a fair amount of new IPs being announced, and this one sounds the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're a fan of the Hitman series, there's going to be a new game coming out. They didn't announce when pre-orders are going to be available, but when it is available, betas will be available for that. If you're a fan of the Street Fighter series, apparently Street Fighter 4 is going to be console exclusive to the PS4 and also playable on the PC. There's going to be a beta for that available on July the 23rd.
All right, before you continue, let me say I'll put down my pizza here. Before you continue, let's get one thing straight here. I know who the one big winner is of all of E3.
Sony?
PCs.
Yeah.
PCs are finally getting the same kind of love that they give console gaming.
Indeed. Although here is another really, really interesting new IP coming, apparently PS4 exclusive, that comes close to me as to Horizon Zero Dawn as being interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No Man's Sky, which we'd heard things about last year at E3, but now we had a playable demo on the show of this. It is an open, explorable universe where the goal is to explore your way all the way to the center of the galaxy. There are literally scads of stars with their own individual solar systems, with scads of planets to explore, and so you can, you can discover planets, and people come across your discoveries. You can take part in space battles. It looks like a fantastic game. It really does, and it redefines the sandbox, because now the sandbox is pretty much the size of the universe.
Another Kool-Aid.
So, if you recognize the studio Media Molecule, they're as far as PS4 goes, they're really, really noted for kind of interesting, offbeat, fun games. They're behind the Little Big Planet series, also Tearaway. New IP from them basically allows you to literally create anything that you can dream. It is appropriately titled Dreams, and you can basically paint up whatever you want and manipulate the world like marionettes. And they did a test trailer with a bunch of different dreams that had been created, that they all connected together to various different remixes of the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," because life is but a dream. And it was just, it was trippy cool. It was so trippy, but so cool at the same time.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting game that's coming out. For those of you who like Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, want to range the shit out of that park, Firewatch, which makes park ranging awesome by adding elements of a mystery that you have to solve. Also, there were some interesting Final Fantasy newses, but we're going to save that for the Square Enix, because really those were the only parts from Square Enix that were really all that interesting. But they took time out during the Sony conference to allow the creator of the Shenmue series from the old Dreamcast days to come up and announce the fact that he was starting a Kickstarter to get Shenmue 3 created for the PS4 and for the PC. And I would give you the link to that Kickstarter, except for the fact that it obliterated its $2 million funding goal in 9 hours.
Nice.
And still climbing at this point. So stretch goals are going to fall like crazy, because I know people who have played the first 2 Shenmue games and have been wanting Shenmue 3 to come for years. So that was so. For those who are fans of those 2 Shenmue games, y'all are awesome. I mean, you shattered a Kickstarter record.
Congratulations.
Right. In an answer to Microsoft's Oculus deal, Sony announced a partnership with Project Morpheus so that they have their own VR kind of thing, including some VR multiplayer games. There's this one kind of mech combat game for the Morpheus that they were showing off called Riggs. And I'm sure it's probably a great game, but I can see motion sickness becoming a problem. For those of us who are cord cutters, such as my little brother David, PlayStation has been kind of trying to help that out by creating an a la carte TV channel station where you can pick and choose what channels you want and pay according to the channels that you want, called PlayStation View. It has not been rolled out nationwide quite yet. In fact, I believe New York and Boston already had it, and they added Los Angeles and San Francisco to the list. But they're going to try and get the ball rolling on that, and this could really change the game for cable subscription services. This could be an absolute game changer for television availability. And now the Sony conference comes to a screeching halt because Treyarch, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and one of the developers named Mark Lamia, who, appropriate for a Dude Bro series like the Call of Duty, actually sounded like a dude bro. Like he was talking kind of like this, and like really happy about this game where you can like shoot stuff and all that, you know?
That's just... Sorry, that's just...
I miss when Call of Duty was actually about war. Call of Duty has just lost the fucking plot. Activision, give it up. Kill off the series. I know it's making you buku bucks, but it's not doing gaming any good anymore. It's just becoming same old shit over and over again. It's getting boring. It's not even fun to watch on an E3 conference. There's no way you can make it exciting anymore. And granted, I realize I'm not a Call of Duty fan, but just...
Jerry,
what?
you kind of lost them at, I know you're making buku bucks. Just saying.
I don't care. I don't care that it's making them money. This game's got to die because they don't even care anymore. I don't even think they're trying anymore.
I know, it's like the best cash cow ever. You just copy a new one, make a few modifications, boom, another couple $100 million.
I mean, people accuse the Mario series of becoming stale and repetitive, but at least Nintendo does try to do some new things with each new game to some degree, introduce new power-ups and such. I gotta move on. Oh, yeah, by the way, the last Sony introduction was Uncharted 4. But when they were playing basically the beginning level of the game, they had a live shot moment, as we from Radio Dead Air world like to call it, because the demo actually, they had to restart the demo because I guess a controller wasn't working or something. Anyway, Nintendo from starting on Tuesday now. Nintendo always likes to do kind of interesting, fun things with their E3 conferences. Last year, they had Robot Chicken. This year, well, it's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to play Nintendo on the E3 show tonight.
Oh.
They had puppets. They had Puppet Reggie, Puppet Iwata, and Puppet Shigeru Miyamoto. And,
yeah, I saw that. Admittedly, that was pretty clever.
Yeah, and actually they started off to do that to initially announce that the game that Miyamoto was teasing at last year's E3 is pretty darn close to completion. Star Fox Zero for the Wii U, including elements from the long-lost, completed but unreleased Star Fox 2. And they also do kind of stories behind the developers to get kind of background scenes on why these games get created, which no other company tends to do. So a lot of interesting information on what came into the ideas for the creation behind Star Fox Zero. Some of which is well known by now. Some of which may not have been so much. But it looks like an incredible game. It uses the gamepad very well for a good dual-screen experience. Gyroscopic gaming, which some people hate, but I came to like from the Splatoon demo. And you can play with the R-Wing with a couple of transformable forms, including one affectionately referred to as the R-Wing Chicken Mode. At least I affectionately refer to it as that. The Landmaster has a couple of dual modes, and there's also a gyrocopter where you can deploy a little robot into small areas to find secrets and such. Yeah, so it like I said, it looks fantastic. Looks like a very, very interesting game. Looking forward to it. Then we had Reggie Fils-Aimé, the actual human person, not the puppet, announced that the theme for the show was transformation. So we were going to see various different ways that Nintendo is being transformed, or that game series are being transformed. Unfortunately, there was no news about either the Wii U Zelda or the NX. We're probably not going to get any news on those until closer to 2016. Sad, I know, but we got some interesting news here nonetheless. Including, Nintendo's foibles with third-party developers tends to be well noted. They kind of have a on-off relationship with third-party developers sometimes. But there is one interesting collaboration here with Activision for the Skylanders series. The Wii U version of Skylanders Supercharge is getting 2 Nintendo-based figurines. Donkey Kong and Bowser. And by the way, and vehicles for both of them as well, because Skylanders Supercharged is introducing vehicular combat to the series. In addition, not only can those figures be used as Skylanders figurines, they can be used as amiibo by twisting the base a little bit. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, we did not get any news about Legend of Zelda Wii U, but we did get news on 2 Legend of Zelda games. First, the name for the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors, which also includes now playable characters Tetra and King of the Red Lions from Zelda the Wind Waker, coming out in the first quarter of 2016, Hyrule Warriors Legends. We'll also include all the DLC characters from the Wii U version of the game. And a spiritual successor to the Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures. Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. A lot of emphasis there on co-op. You can have local wireless co-op. You can have online co-op as well to play 3 heroes. They said they tried using 4, but it just didn't look right being stacked up too high, because there's a totem mechanic where you can actually have the characters stack up on top of each other to reach higher places using the 3D capabilities of the 3DS. And it also has kind of a hybrid of the fashion sense of Animal Crossing with the power-up system of Mario, because you can change out different outfits, including, interestingly enough, Zelda's iconic dress, which, by the way, Link looks good in. Each one of those outfits has powers attached to it that you can use to progress through the dungeons. I don't remember them giving a date for that, but it is still very interesting. From those of you who watched the World Championships, the Nintendo World Championships, one of the new games released there was kind of a robot soccer called Blast Ball. It is being announced as part of a new 3DS game, kind of a spin-off of the Metroid Prime sub-series, called Metroid Prime Federation Force, which looks to be a 4-player co-op. And that was going to be coming out in 2016. Unfortunately, for those of us looking for an actual new adventure with our girl Samus Aran, we're going to have to wait. Come on, Nintendo. Come on. Get Retro on the phone. For those of us who are a fan of the Fire Emblem series, 2 major trailers. First of all, the official English release, the official English name for the new Fire Emblem game is Fire Emblem Fates. It will be coming out in 2016, and apparently, when you get the game, choices you make in the prologue determine whether you go with the Hoshido storyline or the Nor storyline. So it looks like that's how that dual storyline mechanic is going to work, and honestly, I hope there ends up also being a combined or true storyline at some point, even as a DLC. That would be really, really interesting to see. Also, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem got a new trailer, and it is still anime as hell. And that's all that has to be said about that. Actually, no, it isn't all that has to be said about that, because they actually mentioned showed the actual names of the 4 major Fire Emblem characters that are going to be involved in the storyline for that game. Chrom from Awakening, Keita from the games involving Marth, Kain from I have no idea which, and Tiki, who has appeared in multiple different games, including Awakening, but I think this is more from the Hero King era, because she looked a lot younger than she does in Awakening.
Hey everyone, this is David. Like what you hear? Check us out on the internet at casualmodepodcast.com, on Facebook at facebook.com/casualmodepodcast, any one of our social media links, and of course, click on the little subscribe button below. Thanks!